Welcome, everyone. So first, a few housekeeping items. Emergency exits. Toilets are on the front entrance. Phones, if you could please silence your phones and devices. And please note that filming, photography, and live streaming is taking place during this event. And then the acknowledgement of country. We acknowledge that the University of South Australia is on the traditional country of the Kaurna people of the Adelaide Plains. We recognize and respect their cultural heritage, beliefs, and relationship with the land, and we acknowledge that they are of continuing importance to the Kaurna people living today. So welcome to the closing ceremony of the Southern Hemisphere Space Studies Program for 2025. You all already probably know me. My name is Anna Cordry, and I am the Director of the Space Studies Program at the International Space University. I would like to especially welcome Michael Davis, AO, Chair of the Andy Thomas Foundation, Andrew Beer, Executive Dean of the UniSA Business, University of South Australia, Andy Coronis, CEO and Managing Director of SmartSat CRC, Catherine Grace, Director of SASIC, Enrico Palermo, Head of the Australian Space Agency, Ian Spencer, Executive Director of Defence and Industry, Defence SA, Mark Rice, the Team Project Chair from Safety from Space, Matt Opie, CEO of Defence SA, Peter Nikoloff, Chair of Industry Advisory Board, SmartSat CRC, and Ryan McClenahan, Director of Defense and Space Enterprise Hub. Yay! I'd also like to have some special mention to our colleagues from the International Space University who, in partnership with the University of South Australia, are delivering this 4-week program. And I warmly welcome all of you in the audience, both here in the Alan Scott Auditorium and those joining us online. So at this time, I will invite Michael, Chair of the Andy Thomas Foundation, to make some remarks.
Thank you, Anna. As a proud graduate of the International Space University and as a proud South Australian, it gives me great pleasure to congratulate the participants, faculty and staff of the 2025 Southern Hemisphere Space Studies Program on the completion of another successful program. As chair of the Andy Thomas Space Foundation, I'm also proud that we've been able to provide financial support for 2 participants in this very important space education initiative, one of whom was nominated by our friends at the National Indigenous Space Academy and co-sponsored by the SmartSat Cooperative Research Centre. And I join with Anna in acknowledging that we're meeting on the lands of the Kaurna people. My involvement in ISU dates back to 1995 when I enrolled in the first ever Master of Space Studies program at the newly established ISU Central Campus in Strasbourg, France. To say that the decision to spend a year as a full-time space student in the middle of my professional career changed my life is an understatement. Australia's relationship with ISU goes back to 1992, when a consortium of Australian universities, including the University of South Australia, formed the ISU affiliate campus. This led to active involvement in ISU by members of the Australian space community, which over the past 33 years has continued to grow and become stronger. The key person driving this collaboration in Australia was Professor Mike Miller from UniSA, who sadly died in 2022, and whose contributions to the development of the Australian space sector are remembered with great gratitude by many of us here today. The growth of Australian involvement in ISU can be seen from the alumni statistics. The number of Australian alumni who have graduated from all of ISU's programs has been ranked 6th in the world, exceeded only by the US, China, Canada, France and the UK. As a proportion of population, this puts us way ahead of the other countries. Why has Australia been such a strong supporter of ISU? I can suggest several reasons. In the first place, we have a proud tradition of international space cooperation, dating back to the development of the Woomera rocket range in the 1950s and 60s, followed by the unique relationship forged between the Australian government and the US government during the Mercury, Gemini and Apollo programs in the 1960s and 70s. This tradition endures, and led by the ISU graduate Enrico Palermo as head of the Australian Space Agency, we continue to explore opportunities to work with allies collaboratively in space. In addition, Australian academic institutions have long enjoyed a fine reputation in space-related teaching and research. When we conceived the idea of bidding to host the 10-week ISU summer session program, later renamed the Space Studies Program, in Adelaide in 2004, it was not hard to obtain the necessary local support, in this case from a consortium of the 3 South Australian universities, who combined their resources to host a program during the winter months of July and August. For 10 weeks, we hosted over 200 international and interstate visitors in Adelaide, and it was a significant economic boost to the local economy. The success of the 2004 SSP eventually led to the idea of a new ISU program in the Southern Hemisphere. With strong support from Professor Andrew Parfitt at Mawson Lakes and his colleague Leslie Grady, who I think may be here today, we conceived and agreed upon a partnership between ISU and UniSA, in which each institution contributed its own resources and personnel in kind, with ISU taking the lead on the curriculum and UniSA taking the lead on facilities and logistics. The SHSSP has been held 13 times since 2011, and with just over 500 participants graduating in that time, speaking for myself, and I think many of my Australian space sector colleagues, the impact of ISU on the Australian space sector is clear. Our successful ventures in international space education with ISU have led to a brave decision by the small not-for-profit Space Industry Association of Australia to bid to host the International Astronautical Congress in Adelaide in 2017. And we look forward to welcoming the IAC back to Australia in Sydney later this year. As many of you are aware, the IAC in 2017 was the catalyst for the federal government's decision to establish the Australian Space Agency. And the rest, as they say, is history. Once again, to the class of 2025, I say congratulations and welcome to the ISU UniSA alumni community. We know from the feedback received from previous participants that the experience of this program will stay with you for a very long time, and in many cases, it will change your life. Once again, congratulations.
Thank you, Michael. I now welcome Professor Lan Snell, Dean of Programs, Postgraduate, UniSA.
Thank you so much, Anna, and good afternoon, everyone. I'd also like to acknowledge the Kaurna people as the traditional custodians of this land on which we are gathered around today. I pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and recognise how much we have to learn from the world's oldest continuous culture that values people, place and spirit. What an absolute privilege it is to be here celebrating this rite of passage with you. As we acknowledge your learning journey over the past 4 weeks, I wanted to firstly thank you for choosing the SHSSP, awkward acronym, right? To undertake the program, and also for co-creating your learning journey to produce what can only be described as a phenomenal experience in terms of a product. Look, I consider the SHSSP a showcase example of what learning is all about. We have 29 participants representing some 12 different countries, all from different discipline groups, some technical, some professional, some undergraduates, some seasoned professionals, coming together in Adelaide for over a 4-week period to work together, to learn together, to ask questions, to understand what the possibilities might be. In doing so, some of you perhaps may have felt a little outside your comfort zone. Others may have realised some latent skills that you didn't know that you possessed. Certainly, many of you have forged lifelong relationships, as Michael had alluded to. You've acquired a global network, an asset that has certainly accelerated your social capital. And that's one of the best things about learning. It is multi-dimensional. It can impact an individual on a personal, professional, and academic basis. This program has been deliberately engineered to challenge you. It's been designed to give you an understanding of the interdependencies and the profound impact that space can have. It is, I think, this humbling realisation that excites people most into wanting to learn and contribute to the future through space. You've covered astronaut training, space tourism and space resources through a number of elective workshops. This was, of course, underpinned by the knowledges shared with you by the global team of experts, with topics spanning space law, ethics, commercialisation of satellite applications, human performance in space, and even life on Mars. I know that one of the standout events had to be the astronaut panel. Sadly, I missed it, right? It's not every day that you get to listen to 2 fully qualified female astronauts share their extraordinary experience with you. And often, and I know many of you had one-to-one conversations with them as well. What a privilege. You were able to demonstrate your learning through the team project. Now, the team project, for others in the audience, started right from the get-go at the beginning of their 4-week journey and pretty much culminated this morning in form of a presentation and a report submission. I was privileged and lucky enough to be part of the assessment panel, and I can tell you that the unanimous thinking amongst the panel members who were assessing it was that we were just dead impressed with the quality. I did want to ask a question to the team, and I might ask it now, and you can think about this, but I wondered whether you might have considered potential product extensions to your proposed colour code system. I don't know, maybe in the form of emojis? A special thanks, of course, goes to the team project sponsor, Safety from Space, as well to Mark Rice from Safety from Space, Emmeline Pat Dahlstrom from Space Base Co, and Teaching Associate Anderson Liu for your fantastic guidance and support. Great job. Yeah, where was that cheerleader that we heard earlier? Catherine? This program would, of course, not have been possible, and here are some thanks without the generous contributions from our sponsors. I'd like to express our sincere gratitude and appreciation to our scholarship providers, including the South Australian Space Industry Centre and Defence SA. Matt Opie, thank you so much for your support and your generosity. Ian Spencer and Dr. Catherine Grace. Yay! as well, of course, the Indian Space Research Organisation for your support as well. Thanks to the Asia Pacific Space Community Council and their president, Terry Beakley, the Andy Thomas Space Foundation, Michael Davis, I was going to say Michael Champion, it also works, has been a long-time champion and a great counsel in terms of making this a success. Thank you, Michael. SmartSAC and Andy Coronis as well. Last but not least, our program event sponsor, the ASA, Australian Space Agency, Enrico, thank you so much for your leadership and support. Let me leave you with one thought in closing. It's a paradox, actually, that the more you learn, the less you know, which is, of course, a great thing about learning, isn't it? It kind of ignites that curiosity, that scratches that itch in you so that we continuously want to learn. As proud new alums of ISU and soon to be the new Adelaide University, you have many options in terms of learning. I just can't wait to see where your journey leads you. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Lan. For those of us who did not get to experience this, we actually have a video to highlight the last 4 weeks of the journey the participants went through. And so we're going to get to see that now. And it may pique your interest if you would like to join, but this is just a snapshot into the 4 weeks. Southern Hemisphere Space Studies class speaker, Narayani Ribeiro Medeiros.
Thank you. First of all, as the class speaker for a group of individuals from across the globe, gathered here in Australia, we acknowledge that the land we meet on today is the traditional land of the Ghana people. We respect their enduring spiritual relationship with their country. As a Brazilian, I also wish to honor the indigenous people of my homeland, recognizing their deep connection to Nandereko, a word that means their ancestral way of life and relationship with the land. For those in the southern hemisphere, this is typically vacation time. Yet, those of us in the university choose to study even more in the vacation time. A strange definition of a vacation, right? But I can't say much because I'm one of those people. I have also seen many classmates juggling full-time work and this program simultaneously. While some might see this as a poorly thought way of increasing workload, I view it as a decision of immense merit. These individuals are phenomenal for deciding they need more learning, more growth, even at the cost of peace and away from their homes. I saw classmates waking up at 7 a.m. to attend the program, returning at 10 p.m., and staying up until 2 a.m. to connect across 12-hour time zones, then waking up at 7 a.m. to attend the program again. And speaking of attending, where is Carl? So yeah, he's here, great. We can proceed. The first 2 weeks were intense. One moment I blinked and suddenly there were exams, team project meetings, and revisions all crammed in a single day. And if you are from a country like mine where electric showers are common, you may have spent the first 2 weeks taking freezing showers, thinking they were broken, only to discover they were gas heated. But then I blinked again and the exams and revision were over. It was time just to focus on teamwork. Or so I thought. Little did I know there would still be plenty of work ahead. Yet, it was all worth it. When we submitted our project, we received impressive feedbacks. One review mentioned our project ranked in the top of 10% at ISU. While another claimed it was one of the best projects in the last 14 years of the program. Quoting our dear professor Jim Green's response to feedback A3 and A4, wow, this was big. On second thought, I needed to clarify something. One definition of impressive in Aurelius' dictionary, the most renowned in Brazil, it's something that surprises. However, the feedback didn't surprise me. Why? Because I witnessed a team of 29 people not only deeply engaged, but also exceptionally organized. Heaven forbid anyone to try adding a paragraph to our LaTeX document without editing team's permission. And let's take a moment to appreciate those brave enough to convince presentations team to change the slides content after the deadline. Truly, our team was highly organized. And what is the natural result of organization and dedication? It's excellence. So thank you for the feedback. It was expected, but still deeply appreciated. And what is even more thrilling about this feedback is that we achieved it in under 2 weeks, producing work that rivals projects completed in 1 month at SSP. Yes, our class may be small in size, but together we accomplish great things. Together we are big. Speaking of being together, happy birthday, Jerry! I could not forget it, of course. Being in the space bubble and finding people who share this passion for space has been an unimaginable feeling. Sometimes I wonder how in such a large group is everyone so nice and cool. Like Soyeon, our incredible, charismatic, and mindful instructor and astronaut, said there is always one bad person in a group. But in our group, we are lucky enough to have none. Being in the space, the most exciting part of this program was traveling for 4 weeks while immersing myself in diverse cultures. It gave me a glimpse of what it truly means to be a global citizen. We came from different backgrounds, nations, ethnicities, and ages. Yet we study and collaborate together on one vast subject, space. Unfortunately, it's now time to part ways. But don't worry about the distance. Nietzsche once said, friendship is an art of distance, just as much as it is of closeness. Two, we will be scattered around the globe. Our friendships will keep us connected, grounded in mutual respect and appreciation. The love for space will bring us back together. We came here as individuals, but we are living as a team that is ready to reach for the stars. We found our tribe here. If you were inspired by the Rocket Workshop, join our Rocket team. If the entrepreneurship panel lit a fire in you, take the leap and start your space-focused company. The Outer Space Treaty says no one can own the moon, but good luck telling that to the first person who opens a souvenir shop there. If you fell in love with engineering, pursue an engineering degree. It's never too late to study. If you discover leadership skills, consider getting an MBA in space management. Don't be afraid. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. Just thinking of the Indian dance moves Anuj taught us. I woke up the next day sore, but couldn't stop laughing. Totally worth it. As our dear Professor Scott would say, go Yads! And if you don't know what that means, ask any of our students out of the stage. Just think of the I would like to thank all the scholarship sponsors, especially ITAX from my home institution, ITA, the Brazilian Air Force Engineering School. My gratitude extends to the professors, particularly to Dean Green, whose lectures almost convinced me about terraforming Mars. The staff, both from ISU and UniSA, worked tirelessly to make SHSSP25 more inclusive, implementing feedback quickly, especially Anderson during team project sessions. A big hug to Alba with these amazing announcements to help us. I wish every day of my life had an Alba's announcement to help guide my life. A special thanks to G2, Claudio, Alex, and Malika, who were always present. I thank you to the hotel staff who kept us awake every day with fresh coffee. I thank you to everyone involved behind the cameras who I couldn't mention here. There were many people and emotions involved, ups and downs, laughs, and serious stuff. I learned that with a cardboard box, glue and scissors, kids can create you can create a whole huge Gutenberg machine and with a lot of teamwork. Thank you for the celebrations. I smiled like never before. I saw wonderful space costumes, including a mini one that needs to be improved. I discovered new foods, new drinks, new expressions, but the most curious thing, I learned to say sorry again with my Indian friends. So, I'm sorry if I hurt you in any way in this program or in this speech. There is one other thing that I would to add, that this is the SHSSP program. This is the South Hemisphere Space Studies program. And the reflection point that I want to bring to you is, where are the South Americans? Seriously, where are they? Where are the people from Africa? We just have 2 South Americans here. This is not good. We have to change it. I know that most of you are here because you have scholarships, part from ISU, part from your countries, the governments, or companies. And we need this engagement from these places, from America, South America, and south part of Africa. Because what work are we doing if we are getting more education for place, engaging in this place, in space, in countries that already have space, if you not engage also the countries that don't have a space sector well developed? So it's our mission to try to get it, to try to talk with the government, talk with the companies, sponsor another person from South America, from South Africa. Okay? We leave this program not just with newfound knowledge, but with a renewed sense of purpose. Our purpose is to dream beyond the skies. Because if you can look to the stars and dream, we can also look to our dreams and make them real. If space teaches us anything, it is that the challenges ahead are vast, but so are the possibilities, because space is infinity. What we take from here doesn't end today. It will live on in the projects we build and in the partnerships we form. Being an ISU alumni will help us stand out in the growing space region. Thank you to everyone who made this experience possible. The universe waited for us. Finally, I would like to share a quote from Carl Sagan that says, "We are star stuff contemplating the stars. So shine like a star in space." New ISU alumni. Shine. Thank you.
Thank you, Nariane Ribeiro Medeiros. There were 29 of you in this cohort, brightest, and you all brought something unique to the table. There was one of you that stood out as the top academic participant, and that was Natasha Moy. So if you could come up here, Natasha. Yep. Can Natasha come up? Take this out of the box. I'm not going to make you, but would you like to say a few words?
Thank you so much for everyone who made this program possible. It was quite difficult. There was times that were pretty low point, but I really wouldn't change a thing. There's so much love put into this program. and you can absolutely tell. And thank you to all my peers. I've learnt so much from you. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you for all your contributions. Let's see. Okay, so now I would like to welcome Ross Morris, the co-director of the Southern Hemisphere Space Studies program, who I hand over the MC role for the certificate ceremony.
Thank you very much, Anna, and welcome everyone to this very important event this afternoon. So this is the part where we recognise the achievement of all the participants in the program, all their hard work over the past 4 weeks, and they'll get 2 certificates. They'll get 1 certificate of completion from the International Space University and a 2nd certificate from the University of South Australia. They'll also get a lovely gift, which you can see on the table here. And the certificates will be presented by Professor Lan Snell, Dean of Programs Postgraduate, and Anna Caudry, who's the Director of Space Studies Program. So the way we're going to structure this is we'll get the first group to come down to the front. So if I can ask you to come down to the front, please. We did a quick rehearsal this afternoon before we did this. So the first person on the list, Ahmad Faisal. Andrew Savchenko. Anil Kumar K. Anuj Vishwas Jagtap. Atawat Nagulapad. If I can now ask the next group to come down. And the first to receive the certificate will be Ayaka Inova. Benjamin Smith. Is this where I say, where's Carl? Carl Goodwin. Divya Krishnamurti. And Francesca Santucci. If I can ask the next group to come down. And our first is Jasmine James. Jerry G, and happy birthday, Jerry, again. Got a Lauren Springer. Linda Martina Meyer. Lucien Proctor. And if we can get the next group to start to move down. And we start off with Lucky Goria. Madeline Parks. Manoj Jia. Narayana Hiberio Medeiros. Next group, if you can come down. Our top student, Natasha Moy. Prasoon Kumar Gupta. Shani Makur. Siavash Tabatabai. Salmitra. Salmitra didn't trust me to pronounce his whole name. Good move. Next. So we can have the next group come down while this is happening, please. The last group. Starting with Thomas Schilling. Tor Mashley. Vincent Itari. Arnold Chen. And last but not least, Tamara Rodriguez. So if you can all join us, big applause for the participants. And I'll now hand it back to Professor Lansdowne. We'll have to think about that for a minute.
Right. How come it's not Jerry's birthday? Is it actually your birthday? I'm going to say happy birthday anyway, Jerry. Today, from this day forward, this is your birthday. Look, congratulations again to a fantastic cohort. There's been a lot of work in the background to make this all possible. I can't tell you the endless hours that the team around the world have poured into making this possible for you. Every detail has been looked at, every booking, some tense moments as well, but nothing that we didn't overcome. And I hope you appreciated that. I certainly did. I'd like to thank some staff members now and recognise their efforts in pulling together this exceptional learning experience. I'd also want to say thanks to our partnership with the International Space University. We've worked very closely with them. Special thanks to Anna from NASA as well, who's been a breath of fresh air, a complete change agent that has really been the catalyst in many respects. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going to call out, what's going to happen is I'm going to call out some staff members. They're all going to come up here and we're going to do a batch thank you. Is that okay? So, Alba Badia Rufa, Alex Ryan, Anderson, we'll hold your applause to the end, okay, because it's a batch thing. Anderson Liu, Andrei Alexandrov, Claudiel Tatou, Göktuğ Karakacha Led Alu, or better known as G2, Malika Schmidt, Mel Winter, Nicola Bowes, Ross Morris, and Tina Ellis. Please, thank you. What I'm giving out is South Australia's best finest chocolates, right? And what Anna's giving out is some merch. Oh, and a special thanks, something special again from, these are rare collectible items from you yourself. And this is especially to our ISU colleagues. Once again, our thanks.
Oh, thank you. We have not forgotten about you, Lan. Would you mind coming up here? We have a special gift for you as well. You may not have been the top participant, but we recognize all the hard work you do supporting the program in the background and your great vision. So,
Thank you so much, Anna.
So before we close, I just want to take this opportunity to again thank you all of the sponsors, the VIPs, everybody who supported the program and helped these students, these participants get to where they are today after 4 very strenuous weeks. Let's see. Now I have Lan's notes too. I'm not sure whose is whose. So right now, if we could have the guests please join us in the Yungandi building atrium. That is where we, I think afterwards, had the astronaut panel, the pictures. You can go there for refreshments, and then we're going to ask the participants to stay for sort of an ISU initiation. So please stay seated, but everybody else, please meet us at the atrium. And if you don't know where to go, okay, there's signs and folks out front can help you. I'm sorry, the most important line. I hereby declare the Southern Hemisphere Space Studies program closed for 2025.